What's up, guys? Just a second, I'm gonna log on and Instagram. All right, boom. There we go. So I'm live on YouTube, live on Instagram. I'm still eating my dinner. Look, they call me Chef Kaz. I'm gonna eat in front of you. I'm not even sorry. What's up, Neil? I see you. I'll be posting pictures of this later, though. So I'm on this high carb diet. That's what a big part of this this video right here is going to be about. But the thing that really inspired me to jump on here, you're the man, bro. I see you. You're the man. Anybody who's watching on here, you're the man. You're the woman. You're just awesome. You know, I hope you know that. Working on that mentality every day myself. But what got me on here tonight was I was hanging out with my fiance, and she had told me she went to the gym and took a class, but she was like, "Oh, I like kickboxing better." And I said, that's okay, that's fine. But what's important is you win, right? Because the going is the habit formation. We've all had bad workouts, but sometimes there's no bad workout, right? Like when you get to a certain point, but even the bad workouts are better than not doing it. And it really just got me thinking about, habits. And I have been planning to do this video series with you guys a little bit more regularly and make this a, something that I do, something that I share, get on here, share my thoughts. And I'm going to cover a few topics tonight. As I mentioned, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the high carb diet. I want to talk about the habits that'll be brought back in. And then I'm also going to talk a little bit about Kangen water and how that's been really helping me. So basically, the way I would put it is, I wanted to get on here and make this habit for myself, right? Just like I said, Christina went to the gym. She's forming a new habit. Even if she didn't have her best workout, she made the habit. And I got this inspiration that I wanted to come on here and talk about this topic on YouTube with you guys right now. And it's just that follow through. The follow through is what creates the ripple. This all goes back to this whole project being called the Kaz effect. Let me take a bite here. Freaking starving. I promise I'll talk high carb diet in just a second. But I wanted to, just do this, just commit, just see it through. I had the idea, I had things work. We even kept talking for a while longer. I was just like, there's a lot of things I wanted to share. A whole bunch of time passed. I got hungry again. Because my metabolism is way up right now. So without further ado, let me jump into this. So anyone who's followed me for some amount of time, whether it's just online or in person, you may know I've advocated many different ways of eating. The longer you've known me, the more different ways of eating I've taken on. I've tried a lot of different ways of eating, and I think that different things work at different times for different people. That's a fundamental for me. If you're wondering why I'm bouncing, by the way, I'm sitting on these yoga balls, plyo balls, whatever you call it. But different things work for different people at different times. Now, you might make a change where you say, you literally never for the rest of your life go back. So for me, I've been mostly, I would say plant-based, non-animal eating, animal product or animal itself eating for years. Fish every once in a while, but less, and it's become less and less regular. And for the last little while, being plant-based, actually for several years now, I've been using plant-based shakes. And something in my gut was kind of off. I've been playing around with different ways of eating to try to resolve that. It's not that it was so bad. I've had a few things that were like kind of like really upset stomachs, but one of those was on a boat. Another was drinking too much of something with a lot of fiber in it. But the shakes that I was using, I kind of cut back from those, and I'm trying to figure out what to replace those with. So I'd been eating like, I don't even know what I've been eating, like, honestly. I've been trying different things. And then a few nights ago, I stumbled upon a video on YouTube from Dr. Neil. I'm going to bring this up in another tab. Let me find this guy's name. Dr. Neil. One second. I actually sent it to a few people earlier. So let me just check there. Oh, that was actually one. Dr. Neil Barnard is How Foods Affect Hormones. I'll post the link in the comments here if you're interested. Check those out. That's the first one. But actually, the one that really got me thinking about this was it's called Critical Reviews in Food Science and Nutrition, Dr. John McDougall, MD. So listen to especially that second one I mentioned. Got me thinking about carbohydrates and how, it's almost like, remember in the 80s, 90s, there was like the anti-fat craze, right? Where everything became low fat, and then it skewed the other way where now it's filled with sugar and crap, right? Carbs went way up, but it's still low fat, but it's a lot of processed foods. I always remember snack wells, right? So then it became like the anti-carb, right? It has kind of resulted from that. And you see like, cut out pasta, cut out bread, cut out rice, cut out, all those kind of starchy foods. If you're plant-based, that's harder, right? If you eat animals, which like there's lots of evidence in both those guys, like primary before you even talking about any of this other stuff, they're like, get rid of animals, like get animals out of your diet, right? You got to make that change because there's so many issues that it causes that there's not nearly the amount of benefit. So I just saw your other question. I don't know if you're still on. Am I doing any hemp CBD? I actually do have some hemp seeds in this. I think you just jumped off, so I'll let you know that I mentioned that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's so good. So, yeah. So this guy kind of reverses that. Turns it on his head. Said, the gladiators back in their time, they were called barley men. And because they ate a lot of barley, right? So it was the richer culture, the richer people in most cultures traditionally that eat certain foods like big animals, richer stuff, right? But you got to remember back in time, right? Like the food history is really important part of nutrition too. But back in time, refrigeration didn't exist, so things like dairy, things like animals didn't hold up nearly as long. So you had to be wealthy to eat those, right? And there was also less production of it, less availability of it. So all that's very consequential. So fast forward, now everybody eats a ton. Like meat is the staple in the diet, right? At that time, the people who were poorer didn't have as much meat. Now anybody has access to meat. But at that time, the people who were poorer, they actually were healthy, right? That's the key. Is you look at the bodies of like the wealthy, the elites, right? They're always like overweight and obese and bellies, all puffed up. Whereas the worker class, they're fit, they're strong, they're healthy, and they're only eating like the simple, the basic foods, right? And he gave the example of the Ethiopians. In a lot of African countries, Kenya, another one where the marathon runners come from. He says, what do their diets consist of? And it's a lot of grains. And then, kind of just goes through different cultures across the world. And, Asian cultures traditionally have been thought of as being very slender and lean. And, look at what they eat: lots of rice, lots of noodles, and even though we think of like Italian food as very heavy, I've been to Italy, a lot of the Italians are very, now, like we think of, I think a lot of Italian Americans, but Italians, are much actually leaner people. And, a lot of, obviously a lot of breads, a lot of pastas in their culture. So not everyone though, right? Again, not to say that everybody eats that way, but, traditionally in times past, right? You always have to kind of take the measuring stick before there was such uniformity, which kind of has become the case even in a lot of poor countries. So what's the point? Let me take one more bite. So good. So what's the point? The point is, this doctor, there again, different diets for different people at different times, certainly for myself. But the argument he makes is grains are good, right? Go figure. And that you should have a plant-based diet, but you should have a plant-based diet that's not so much like fruits and vegetables or even legumes and nuts, but a lot of grains. And this was like just a perspective I hadn't considered. So I was dealing with some, like I said, some stomach issues. And from my time in the Peace Corps, I know that, the best way to take care of an upset stomach is with, they call it the brat diet. So there's 4 things: bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast. Bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast. Brat. So the other great thing to eat when you have an upset stomach is like saltines. All right, so what's in there? Rice and toast. Bananas, applesauce also. But rice and toast, why are those a little bit more solid foods than bananas and apples? Why can you eat those? Because they're so dry, right? So they just absorb liquid. Like rice, yes, it's cooked in liquid. Toast, obviously, is a little bit drier, but it absorbs. And this is my just understanding. It absorbs a lot of the moisture you got and pulls it out. So, he just makes this argument about, the benefits of grains and, like the barley men were the gladiators. A lot more. I got to watch the video again, get more, take more from it to share with you guys. But I've changed my diet up, put a lot more grains. Even this has less. This has a lot more other stuff in it than I've been eating. But a lot of like drier foods, just like quinoa. I had oatmeal for breakfast. I had like some crackers. Definitely like people are like, oh, how do you get your protein? Like I've been adding like hemp seeds. I had some guacamole, homemade guacamole earlier. So there's some nuts in here. I haven't really started to incorporate too much legumes, but even that, I don't think I'm gonna put too much. It's not gonna be like half and half. It's gonna be like 2/3 grains and maybe 1/3 legumes. And I'm gonna continue to experiment. So you say, okay, well, what are the benefits? One more bite, please. What have you noticed so far? First off, people joke constantly, like about how bad carbs are. Where like, a carb-rich meal, a carb-heavy meal, is viewed as like an unhealthy meal or a cheat meal, and maybe for a certain type of diet, it is. My point is, carbs themselves maybe aren't bad. Meaning, maybe in combinations with lots of meat, dairy, etc., then it can cause issues. Like there's ways I can explore that I think that's caused by, starting with just that those foods aren't that great for you. But then there's like even macronutrient stuff where you're just looking at, if you have a lot of fats and you have a lot of starches, yes, your body's going to burn the carbohydrate first, right? Starch is carbohydrate. Your body's going to burn the carbohydrate as its primary fuel source. And then the fat you're consuming, it will be used as a secondary fuel source. So if you're having a large amount of fats in the form more of oils, right? Because this is another guy that I listen to, he talks about these fractal foods, right? So foods that aren't whole foods. And oil, salt, those are 2 fractal foods. Sugar, of course, too. but it's taken out, especially oil. It's taken out of another food, so you couldn't get like oil. You would have to always make oil, right? I guess barley and rices and stuff you'd have to make too, but it's not extracted, right? It's you're just really adding water to certain things. So it's just an interesting way to say it. So this actually has a little bit more oil than I've been using, so I've been cutting way back on my oils. So yeah, that's kind of just a few different kind of like takes on this. Again, what have I noticed? My energy's been way higher. I'm putting on like muscle and size, and I've been lifting. There's a lot of different factors. I'm waking up earlier, and like I'm gonna talk about in a second, my Kangen water has been a big game changer for me. I'm gonna talk about that in just a second. But I'm gonna keep up this habit, keep sharing my findings with you guys. Excited to be here, forming this habit. All right, one more bite. Change topic, wrap it up. So for my 40th birthday, which was February 6th, I bought a piece of equipment that I'd wanted for quite some time. It's called Kangen water machine. The company is called Enagic. It is a machine that does something to the water. I can tell you exactly what it does, or send you a video if you're interested. Actually, I'll post the video in the comments. It's actually a good video, easier than me explain. My friend Shane explains very, very well exactly exactly what this machine does. So let me find that for you. Bring that up. Boom, 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 boom. And just a second. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Stay here. It's way back in this conversation. Well, here's actually a good one too. This is just a, no, it's not. So this is about the water. This is not the, this is a long video. We're really good way to learn. What does this water do? It's from a woman with a PhD, the woman who's giving the presentation of that video. I really like to find stuff that's like, there's like the lowest quality production value, because that's like the realest science. The guy, there's just like a VHS camera in the back. Just like, somebody recording it on their phone. It's just a presentation. All right, here we go. Let me get this one up for you. Here we go. All right, so boom and boom. There we go. All right, easy peasy. So that's the Kangen water. I should have labeled this Kangen water. Explanation of how it works. So if you're watching on Instagram and you want this information, just go to my YouTube channel. YouTube, I think it's just Chef Cass on YouTube, and look up this same video on there. I have all the links posted in the comments. So I'm not going to go into what it does, how it works. I'm going to go into what it's been doing. So first, are you freaking kidding how muscular I'm getting right now? Like, I've only been lifting again for like a couple of weeks. I was recovering from some injuries, still kind of am, but again, along with the change in diet, I am getting to bed earlier. I actually got to wrap this up so I can get a shower and get to bed. What else? I am weight training. I'm incorporating much more deep stretching, foam rolling as usual. What else? Getting to bed early is a big one. Like tonight, probably won't even like watch a show or anything. I've been watching like shows, so if I stay up too late watching a show or whatever, like, I'm not so, like, I wait till I'm like falling asleep in the freaking massage chair to go to bed. Like, no, it's 10 o'clock, go to bed. Like, that's my bedtime. I'm gonna stay up a little bit late tonight, but I was up super early today. Got a nap in, feeling good. I want to get this video in. Yeah, nasal breathing. That's we'll talk about that in another video. That's important too. Mantis, I see you, bro. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. So we are live here on Instagram and on YouTube, just talking a bunch of different things, habit formation, talking about, I just finished talking about my the new diet I'm trying out, the high carb diet, and talking right now about Kangen water. So yeah, so the first thing was like my energy levels when I first started taking it. Like it was like almost like a shock to the system, where like I couldn't sleep the first time that I had it. This most recent time when I got my machine, let's see, I just noticed a surge of energy. I don't remember how my sleep was this time. My skin cleared up though. I did just everything. Like I really is overly simplistic as it sound, like everything improved. Everything improved. I noticed a big change too when we went out of town and I was drinking water in Florida for 4 days. And the funny thing is, when we came back and I started drinking the Kangen water again, it actually like upset my stomach. I think I had like gotten used to it, and then getting off of it like messed me up. So I've been like, I don't even want to travel anymore out of town because of this machine. But now, like, I'm settling back into a good routine. I'm, like I said, eating right, a lot of different things. Now the water is like really starting to work. Where, it's not just one thing. I don't want to like give all this credit to one machine or one, anything. But I can say for sure that since I've incorporated this machine in my life, a lot has changed. It's a big part of this progress. I think that if I took that variable out of the equation, I don't think that everything else is working so well. And I'll give you an example. I've noticed that when I eat different fruits and vegetables now, they upset my stomach. And I got to thinking why that might be. And I was thinking about it. It's like, a lot of them have water a lot of water in them. Anything that's live is going to have water in it. Versus like grains, I'm cooking with my Kangen water, right? Filtered, alkalinized, electrically charged water. That's what's going in my food. Versus I don't know what's going in my food that someone else grew. So things to consider. I can say that there's definitely a direct relationship problem. Like it's still something I'm paying attention to, but it seems pretty clear that foods that I eat that have water from other sources, like even this water, of course, is. But what I do is I freeze the bottle with the ice in it. But the ice is it's water that is frozen into ice, but that comes from the machine as well. So I have nice cold. I fill it with this is the 9.5. Or it might be 9.0, and I put it's got my recovery powder in there. Actually, that's not even a recovery. That's like a repair powder. That's like herbal-based turmeric, those sorts of things. Good for muscles, good for recovery. So anyway, a lot of different things I'm throwing at you guys. Like I started this video saying, I wanted to jump on here to talk about habits. That was the first point that I made, and just getting on here, not doing it perfectly, but doing it. I feel good about it. I'm happy I did it. I appreciate it if you've joined me tonight. Now let's see, can I do it again tomorrow? I'm gonna make that the goal. Daily evening thoughts. It's a good time. It's actually an idea I had a long time ago, but I didn't have the energy. So just goes to show you, how much energy you have really in a lot of ways is going to be the ultimate determiner of your outcome. Of course, you have to apply that energy in a focused manner. Do things with that energy. Practice makes habit, says the Mantis. Hey, I see you again soon, man. We can do some private capoeira lessons if you're interested in that. As I also want to mention, I offer my performance nutrition consulting services. If you're interested in that, I have a couple of options. If you buy the Enagic machine, you actually get my consulting services free. So I will talk to you if you're interested about that. That's how much I believe in this machine too, because it's gonna help you level up a lot faster. Let me just have this bite. Doesn't look good. Definitely just drop some on the floor. If you're watching, I'll see you. Please leave me a comment. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. You guys know how to do. You heard it other places, people say it all the time. I won't bombard you, but I'm going to come back tomorrow night. Commitment. All right. I'll see you all then. Thank you for joining me. Look forward to doing this again. Peace.